Episode 11 brought this series to a very interesting turning point. By now, I hope that we've all watched episode 11. If not, you may want to skip this video. I will recap each and every scene and give my opinion on how this episode is progressing along with the rest of the series. And with that being said, this is my review of Tyler Perry's The Oval Season 3, Episode 11, titled The Children. This is the episode that aired just before Christmas, and the episode description reads, the Vice President reveals his cards to Victoria and Hunter, using them to team up and try to combat his attack. Eli made it in to talk to Donald after they brushed him off for most of the day. He advised Hunter and Victoria that he wanted the truth to be told to the American people and to get to the bottom of all the murders going on there in the White House. Hunter and Victoria reminded Eli that he used to be an alderman and a dog catcher, and he wouldn't even be there without riding to the White House on their backs. The implication here is that Eli should be grateful to even be there. Victoria told him that she will kill a witch and step over her body to get to the butter on the table. In order to understand what Victoria really meant by this, I encourage you to download a free copy of her backstory titled The Franklin Silhouette. And in this short story, you will see just how her past life shows up now in the White House, especially this classic situation with her children. So just click the link below to get your copy. From the very beginning of Eli's talk with Victoria and Hunter, we witnessed Donald trying to stop both parties from quote-unquote saying too much, but his attempts didn't work. After Eli assured them that he wasn't trying to overthrow the government, but he did try to encourage Hunter to simply resign, Hunter told him not to mention what he knows to anybody, and then told him to get his twitch sass out of his office. Poor Eli, I really hope he makes it. But before he left, Victoria made sure that it was clear that if he said anything, that his children's time there on Earth would be cut short. Donald didn't think that it was wise to go back and forth with Eli and threaten his children. He said that he'd find out who he'd been talking to, and he'd also try to stop him from running his mouth to the press. Hunter said he doesn't care what Eli's position is, but if he talks to the press, then he's going to bury him 6 feet deep. Now, before I end this segment, Donald said something very profound, more so exposing his desire to sit in Hunter's seat as well. Remember, we discussed this in previous episodes. He sat right there on that couch, and he told them never underestimate a man's desire for power. On the surface, it would appear that he's talking about Eli, and he may even left a little bit of wiggle room there, but I think that he was talking about himself. What do you guys think? Because we all know how Donald and Kyle clown the president when they get alone. Right in the middle of Max and Bobby trying to rescue Lily, they get a phone call from the sitting duck Boy Scout Eli, and he's got his panties all in a bunch because he's pissed Hunter off, and now he wants Max and Bobby to come and save him from this self-inflicted wound. Bobby told him that he had to rescue Lily because she was in danger and she's very important to the operation, so he had to wait until they scooped her up first. Eli wasn't really satisfied with that. He said that he couldn't wait, and he didn't want to trust the details that were assigned to him and Second Lady Simone. So Bobby got tired of him crying and told him that he'd send Sam to his office to keep him company until they got there. Then Sharon arrives at her home away from home. She went over to Kareem's to see Dale, and she was acting all brand new. Can I come in? Can I go back to see Dale and talk to him? Like, give me a break. I'm like, girl, didn't you just live there 2 days ago? And Kareem made me want to throw up. Please, Sharon, just talk to me. Tell me what's going on. Oh, shut up already. I really wish you would just end things with Kareem. We make a quick cut to Donald's office, and he's calling Alan and telling him that he needs him there at work. Although he acknowledged the fact that he knew that it was a bad time, but he really needed him there at the office. What is it exactly that Dirty Donald can't handle without Alan being there? Then he made a phone call to Killer Kyle and Lily, and he tried to encourage Lily to give him more information about Bobby and his whereabouts, and Lily kept telling him that she knows nothing, and she really doesn't. I covered this scene in my trailer breakdown, and I'll leave a link to it up above so that you can check it out. They think that Lily is lying, but Bobby is on a whole new assignment with the VP, and he's left the White House already, and she knows nothing about it. No matter what Lily says, I don't think that they're going to believe her no matter what. Donald is without question one of the most insensitive characters on this show. Now, Sharon makes it to the back to see Dale, and Dale's sitting there in the dark, just sitting there. Dale ain't reading no book. He ain't watching TV. He's not on his phone. He's just sitting there in the dark, just sitting there in his newfound peace. So Sharon told him that she needed to talk to him. And Dale knew all the intel because in the last episode, Kareem kind of gave him a little bit of the happenings and what was going on between her and Kyle. And Dale thinks that she's still in danger. He told Sharon about Donald and Kyle's affair and told her that the president will stop at nothing to get what he wants. So he advised her to keep Kareem around her at all times because they don't like witnesses and they can't even go to the police. Look, she's not ever going to get rid of Kareem. I can just feel it. So Jason is playing Here We Go Around the Mulberry Bush with Alonzo when Victoria came in, and he told her that he's about to go and jump off the roof. He asked about Gail, and she threatened to take Alonzo off of his detail with Jason and to just let Jason run wild through the White House. Victoria is eating murder for breakfast, kicking bass and taking names. She's stopping at nothing to prove how ruthless she is, even with her own children. Then enter Second Lady Simone. They made a lot of small talk, enough to know that Simone knew nothing about the meeting that they had with Eli earlier. She invited Simone to have a seat and told her that she doesn't like her or her weak Boy Scout husband. She warned Simone not to come up in her house trying to dress better than her. Simone apologized and quickly told her that she has to go and meet with her husband, and Victoria forced her to have lunch with her instead. I really don't like how everyone is so passive with Victoria. Who does she think she is? Simone told her that she just wanted to tell her husband about the change in lunch plans. She couldn't do that. She wanted to grab her phone from the detail right below the stairs. She couldn't do that either. Victoria is such a bully. It's becoming overbearingly unbelievable with this character. Now in the kitchen part of the White House, where Richard is still trying to convince Priscilla to take some time off, he told her that the only reason that she still has a job is because she played the card that they were never to play. And I'm sure he's referencing the fact that Priscilla called Victoria's father when she tried to put her out of the White House. Richard wanted to know if she'd talked to Sam, and Richard should know by now that this is a trigger word for Priscilla. Don't mention the word Sam in her presence or she's going off. She reminded him that Nancy did what she did 25 years ago and that Sam's infidelity is still fresh, so she wasn't going to really get over it that quickly. Sam made it in to see Eli, and he briefed Sam and told him that he came highly recommended by Bobby and Max, that Sam is someone that he can trust. After Eli gave him his thoughts on the evidence of what he had against Hunter, Sam let him know that he thinks that Donald is also covering up all the murders. Sam told him that he had his support, but not without a little bit of hesitation, and rightly so because Eli is moving a little fast, and he has every right to. But before he get out of that briefing room snitching on Hunter, Victoria gonna be standing at the door waiting, ready to knock his block off soon as he come off that stage. He asked Sam to protect him and Simone until Bobby and Max arrived because he didn't trust his detail. Richard called Nancy to see if she could stop by the White House to talk to Priscilla because she's going through something. And I'm glad that Richard knows how to pick up on Priscilla's energy to know that she needs somebody to talk to. And Nancy made an off-color joke about her keeping secrets, and Richard let her know to be talking about her keeping secrets. Alonzo made it over to Alan's after babysitting Jason all day. Alan told him that the First Lady had Ellie murdered, and Alonzo didn't believe him. Alan asked him for the gun, and now Alonzo don't want to give it to him. He got away from his detail with Jason, went over to his house to give him the untraceable gun, and now he don't want to give it to him. He asked Alan what he was going to do with it. What do you think he's going to do with it, Alonzo? Play hopscotch? I mean, Alan reminds me of Clark on Ruthless, just a worthless snitch. He warned Alan not to come up to the White House saying things like that, and he let him know that he was going to do his job. So he's pretty much letting him know that he can count on Alonzo for squat. And needless to say, he didn't leave him that gun. Kyle is still torturing Lily in the attic, and she assures him that she doesn't know anything. And this experience alone should confirm what Lily knows about Donald and move forward with exposing him and his lifestyle anyway. This next scene I covered in detail in my video titled A Few Good Men between Sam and Donald here, so at the risk of sounding redundant, I'll just leave a link to that video above and below in the description so that you can check it out. But to sum it up though, Sam went in to speak with Donald, and Donald already knew that he'd been in to talk to Eli. Sam brushed him off and told him that he went in to talk to Eli about his kids. Of course, Donald didn't believe him, but Sam went on to ask Donald if he knew about the girl being kidnapped and bought out to the White House. Donald played dumb and told Sam that none of that happened, otherwise it would be in their logbooks, and Sam said that it did happen because his source said that it happened. In the final scene, we see Max and Bobby going into Lily's house. They take down the two agents out front, and when Bobby walked in, he noticed water dripping on the floor from upstairs in the attic. He went upstairs, and they saw Lily sitting there in her chair, and she slick gestured with her head. She looked behind her and basically pointed out where Kyle was hiding. They started shooting up the place and moved in to rescue Lily. End scene. I really liked the action in this episode, and as I said in my trailer breakdown, the episode offered a huge turning point in the series. We now know whose side everyone is on, and we know that Eli may be a bit timid and carries a Boy Scout persona, but it's not stopping him from holding a press conference to expose Hunter and his administration, right? So I'm looking forward to the January 11th episode so we can see how things will move forward from here. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. If you're an Oval fan, go ahead and sub to this channel because I do videos like this all the time. Thank you so much for